Hi, I'm Helen Terry here at Soma Ranch. During this live stream class times, Debbie Rosas, founder of Nia Technique, is providing a weekly special live stream class on Fridays at noon Central Daylight Time here in Texas, which is 10 o'clock with her in Portland, Oregon. And my routine is, after enjoying a fabulous live class as a student with Debbie, I then take the routine and the inspiration from her class and teach the same music with similar focus on Friday evening at 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This last week, Debbie taught the Nia routine flow, or I really would say she taught to the playlist of the Nia routine flow. And she brought some particular lovely, what we call clicks, the right fit by accident techniques with hands and wrists. And then for the rest of the routine, I observed how masterfully and craftily Debbie chose simplicity. And there really was like one main theme for each song. And then that allowed her to bring creativity and allowing us as students to go deeper into the experience. So while taking the experience, I made very quick notes, and I chose a symbol, a word, or a little phrase to help me have a stimulus so that when I teach the class at 6, all I need is what I call a postage stamp that reminds me of the journey I experienced. And then I can bring recall from my body and maybe a little bit from memory of what I enjoyed in Debbie's class in balance with what I would call improvisation in the moment as I listen and dance to the music, feeling that liveness of in the moment what clicks and feels like the right fit by accident. When we're live streaming these days, there is this thing where I think when I listen to music, like a fabulous album, that music has been produced and edited and mixed to be like the perfect sound that I can listen again and again and again and go deeper and deeper into the layers that the artist and the team intended for that experience. For me, live stream classes are like a live concert. It's where sometimes chicken, sometimes feathers is an expression I have, meaning sometimes in that live improvisation, something comes and we get to explore, and other times it might be not quite how we intended, but the people that are viewing or hopefully dancing, taking the class, they get to feel what it's like to truly be alive. Perfectly imperfect as humans, as Nia teachers, as we are sharing this fabulous practice as we listen and dance. So these are my little notes. I realize on live right in this moment, you might be seeing them mirrored, and that's okay. I'll post a picture of this as well. But this is how I might have a postage stamp recall of the class experience. So in song 1, what I have written here is space above below. So I know as we're stepping in, as we're going into the warm-up experience of the class, all I need to think is space and above and below. This helps me be aware of the space around me and also sensing this vertical line. For the second song, my notes say swing TB, knee sweep with a circle, and releve ROC, which is short for rock around the clock. What I'm doing here is the short acronyms that I know are part of the Nia vocabulary of movements. There are 52 movements, and we tend to do shorthand of acronyms for them. So here, swing TB, the focus of the class for both Debbie and then for my class I did later was the thigh bone, choosing a body part to be in relationship with that body part for the entire class experience. This helps us have a more somatic, body-centered experience, but also as teachers and students, we are having the opportunity to learn more about the amazing human body, to absorb more about anatomy, to enhance the class experience. Even my dad called me after class to share, I'm really more interested in Nia, from realizing how we can learn about the body. So my focus with the thigh bone is sensing how the movement of toes in and toes out, even though that is one of the foot techniques of Nia, that movement actually comes from the rotation of the thigh bone in the ball and socket of the hips. Little nuggets like that to enhance the physical experience. So in the second song, Swing Chibi means playing with swinging the thigh bone as we shift from the warm-up into the longest cycle of a Nia Class experience. Get moving. K with a little N, S for me is knee sweep. And when I have the picture of the circle, it's helping me remember the architecture of sensing this knee sweep. Then R with a line is releve, rolling up onto the balls of the feet. And ROC, that's rock around the clock. That's where another foot technique where we rock around the entire clock of our feet. It's fabulous for the 7,000 nerve endings of the feet. It's fabulous for your inner and outer arches. And it's fabulous for really getting some beautiful massage in the feet that releases tension, not only in the feet, but the entire body. So in that song, Swing Chibi means this movement where we're swinging the thigh bone. KNS, knee sweep, sensing rotational movement of the thigh bone. And then releve, rock around the clock with this line up and down, with the arrow. Song 3, I have CTS, that's the cat stance, or one-legged stance. The stance where I'm on one leg, one foot in the ground in stillness. And pivot. This is playing with how I pivot with one of the moves, sink and pivot table wipe, and sensing the pivoting and rotation of the thigh bone. Fourth song, I have tie shoelace and kicks. Tie shoelace is the movement where my thigh bone comes down. And in this position, I have the architecture, tying shoes, of one thigh bone parallel to the floor and the other thigh bone perpendicular to the floor. But the word tie shoes, or the image of this, is enough of the postage stamp that I can recall without thinking too much and get right into my body and enjoying the experience. Kicks, well, in Nia we have 4 kicks. So I see kicks and I know I can play and improvise with the front kick, where I come forwards, with the side kick, where I kick to the side, with the back kick, where I kick backwards. Any teachers watching, I'm noticing on the screen to really show a back kick, being slightly diagonal to the screen, allows my class to see more of the technique, whereas in front, it can be a little bit more challenging for the class to see what we're doing. And then finally, knee sweep, which we introduced the class before. The song before is also one of the 4 kicks of Nia. Then in song 5, I have sweep, shape still, shape move. So this is a sequence of 1, 2, 3. The first motif of the sequence is sweep. Yeah? So this can be knee sweep. This can also be sweep arm. This can be sweep legs. I can improvise with what sweep is for me. The second motif of the sequence is shape still. For me, this is feet still and playing with shapes in space. So if I think about my thigh, the first motif is rotation. The second is stability. So we can sense mobility followed by stability. And now the third motif is shape move. So now this is, I've got shapes going in stability in my base. Now can I move those shapes around the room? And this sequence can be where I play for a certain amount of time with sweeping, and then the same amount of time with shapes in still feet, and the same amount of time in shapes with moving. Then I can go back to the next and provide consistency, going through each one for the same length of time. Or maybe I'll stay for a long time, and then the next sequence can be shortened or shortened even more. When we think about the architecture of the Nia Class experience, this song 5 is getting close to the peak of Get Moving. So it's fabulous to take my class into, this is the movements. Now we're going to move through them faster. Now we're going to move through them even faster. We're blathering the education. The students have plenty of time to get familiar with the moves, and then we can play with shortening the sequence and shortening it even more, which gives them more of a workout and also is helping them improve their sensory IQ, be aware of how they can connect one move to the next. Song 6, I put AO with a smiley face. Simply, I know this song from years ago. Originally was in a Nia routine called AO. And I know in that song there are jazz squares. I know we play with shapes and space. It's like the song before already is a precursor to what I can do with the choreography. And sometimes it's so lovely to simply say, I'm familiar with the choreography from this previous routine, and that's what we're going to do. So for me, it's just AO, smiley face with a heart. I've got this in the bag. We can relax, listen, and dance. The next song, 7, I have tail shake and kick long. And with that, I've put L-R-A in circles. That's my little coding for left side, right side, and alternate. So I'll improvise with tail shaking. Yeah. And then I might kick long, play somehow on my left side. Then I'll go back to tail shaking, and I'll do that sequence on the other side, long kicks. And I might do that a few times on the left, and then a few times on the right. And then I shorten them to maybe 2 times on the left, 2 times on the right. And then finally, hopefully by about the last third of the song, the peak of that song, we can be doing that tail shake and long kick on the right, and then tail shake and long kick on the left. Yeah, like a beautiful sandwich of movement. Then on 8, I have long and strong. This is where we're shifting from the get moving into the floor play to end the class experience. And this cycle is called cool down. So for me, cooling down from get moving and moving around the room to getting down on the floor. How beautiful when we're focusing on the thigh bone to sense long and strong through the entire body, yet also focus on the thigh bone, the longest bone in the body, with amazing strong muscles around it. So again, we're continuing our focus. We're in relationship with that body part, and we're also in relationship with the entire body. Then there's a few more songs with floor play out of all the 7 cycles. Cycle 6 floor play for me is where I'll draw from the wisdom of Nia routines I've learned from before. I'll play with the Nia 5 stages, embryonic, creeping, crawling, standing and walking as my base. I might draw some of my experience as a yoga faith instructor and fuse that into the experience. Perhaps I took a floor play class last week in live stream with another teacher, and I enjoyed their sequence. In summary, with floor play, it's destination from home place. And so I'll choose one move, and I know where I want to go. And I'll explore coming from home to the destination and coming back. Freedom within that form. And then at the end of class, we'll be stepping out. With this class, if my focus was thigh bone, I would find a curious, creative, inspiring way to step out with the thigh bone. The classic way could be, let's explore knee sweep in our thigh bones after this Nia Class experience. Or perhaps let's play with swing, long bone of the thighs, knee sweep, the rotational circular patterns, and perhaps side kicks, one thigh bone stable, one thigh bone mobile, And as you step out of class, notice the healing benefits, what feels better in your hips and your lower back. Well, that was an overview of my process of taking the fabulous Nia class that Debbie Rosas is offering on Fridays at noon, and then how I use that as a teacher to be inspired to take that and immediately apply it into my next class. I also really hope that this is encouraging my students to come along on the journey to experience the class with Debbie at noon and then come back and play with me 6 hours later, same music, same focus, different teacher, and it's all fresh and new for me. If I have no idea what Debbie's going to do really until noon on that day. And then I play in what we call an embryonic way. Nothing forced, nothing pushed, nothing pulled. For me, Friday evening classes are very much like, it's Friday, let's play, let's have balance between freedom and form, and a fun way to start our weekend. So I hope you'll consider joining me this weekend, this Friday, stepping into our weekend. And I will be posting a photograph of these notes in case you want to see them. They'll be up there in somaranch.com/news. Thank you very much. Enjoy.